Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Tracy Show. I am Tracy. I'm glad to be here. You see the topic. We're going to talk about. We're not going to share any clips because YouTube doesn't like me sharing clips. So we won't be sharing clips. But before I get started, I'm going to get some bills paid here and we'll get ready to go. Remember to subscribe. Guys, I am at 281. That means I am 1 and 9 away from 300. This can actually happen at the end of next month. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your frenemies, tell everybody to subscribe to this page. Please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. You can also hit the notification button to get notification of when I go live. I try to keep a regular schedule, but please, 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 please subscribe. There is the address there. Or if you're not subscribed, there'll be like a subscribe button. Most likely it's on the right in the corner and it'll be red. So hit that. Support me on Patreon. I am down a light. I try not to ask for support. I really don't like asking for support, but I need support to keep this channel going. Support starts at $2 a month, which is 50 cents a week. And when we get more Patreons, I'll start doing exclusive things just for the Patreons. Right now, we only have one. So I want to get it up to at least 5. So if you can support me on Patreon, that would be great. Please follow me on my Rumble channel. I keep asking people to do this, but so far I'm the only one following. Following me on Rumble is going to let me expand where I'm podcasting or broadcasting the show. So right now, it's YouTube, Twitch, and my Facebook page. I want to expand that to be Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. And I need 5 followers to do that. So just follow me on there. I know people say it's a more conservative channel, but I still want to be on there to give an alternative voice. So definitely support me on Rumble. Support my GoFundMe account. I am trying to raise $1,500 so I don't have to come on here and beg every single week for money because now I'm down a light. I'm probably going to need a microphone pretty soon. A table to put my equipment in at. So just support me. The address is https://gofund.me/169 B as in boy 793. Remember to like this podcast. That helps us in the algorithm. Comment. I'm going to really want you all to comment tonight or today. Yeah, it's almost night, but really need to comment. You can always comment after we go off the air, but if you could do it while I'm on air, I would appreciate it. And share. If you could share any of my videos, that would be fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I got my trusty tablet here. And so you'll hear it in the background, but you won't see it on the screen. I'll talk about what cartoons of the 80s that I really enjoyed. I might slip some 90s and maybe early 2000s in there. So if you hear them, don't say, well, that's not from the 80s. I'm bringing up something here. And as you know, we're going to have at the end of the show our Idiot of the Week. I let you all vote for it. And to be honest, it wasn't even close who the winner was. I mean, this was just, it just ran away. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. So with the response I got from that, I'm going to I'll keep putting polls up. It'll be up around Monday, and we will go to announce who the loser idiot of is. So I'll talk about that towards the end because I still want you to keep voting if you can. So far, there's just 10 votes, and I'm at 282 now. So now I'm at 282, and let me close this one. So let's get started. So, and some of these shows also keep in mind, like it doesn't mean that the show was like produced in the 80s, right? It could have been a show that I watched in syndication, but I remember growing up with them. Shows like Scooby Doo, Where Are You? Um, Clue Club. Um, what was the show with the shark? And they were in a band. Oh, Jabberjaw. Hong Kong Phooey. Those type of shows, they weren't actually produced in the 80s, but I remember watching them in the 80s. So, gonna try to keep this, I keep promising this, I'm gonna try to keep this short because I just am. So, handy tablet, and we're gonna go to the first, because again, YouTube does not like me sharing videos. And if you're watching out there, if you just want to say, hello, Tracy, get off the air, you can put that in the comments too. I promise my feelings won't get hurt. So I'm trying to remember oh, this one show that came on, and you all can help me with this. It was definitely produced in the 80s. And it was like these group of teenagers, and they got ported back to like the time of the Knights, but they fought like dragons and stuff like that. And they had this little Ewok thing that like helped them through the journey. What's that show called? I think it's called Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm not 100% sure. And if it is called Dungeons and Dragons, did they ever get home? I think that was it. They were 4 or 5 teenagers, and somehow they got ported back to um like I said, the English times, like the knights and the um, people in the armor and all of that stuff. I think it's called Dungeons and Dragons, um, but I'm not 1,000% sure. Let me get my first one that I know I'm going to talk about. And like I said, I had these. Um, I might talk about Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue, but that's a whole show by itself. There's so many things to. Okay, so the first cartoon I want to talk about, Richie Rich. Okay, so the thing about Richie Rich, he was a rich kid, but he had like poor friends, right? I think the song was like, Rich Rich is his name, that's Rich. Richie Rich, dun dun dun. So the whole thing was he was rich, like super, super, super rich. And he had these friends. I think they were poor. And I'm just gonna, Richie Rich. Not the movie. We are not talking about the movie with Macaulay Culkin. That movie was terrible. That movie was terrible. Okay, so here's the intro. Do you need assistance? Hopefully you all can hear it. Why does that sound like Scooby Doo? That literally sounds like Scooby-Doo. Okay, yeah, I know I'm gonna have something to say about this, right? So, again, he's very rich. He's in the Rich Hall of Fame. His dog is named Dollar, and he has like little dollar signs on. And this is the best. So I might say some things you're like, well, you said best of. Love the cartoon. Don't get me wrong, but there's some problems that I had with it. I.e., why is he rich and he's bringing his poor friends around? Like, you just gonna let them just sit out there and just watch you live this rich lifestyle, and you see them struggling? You couldn't get. I mean, if you're in the Rich Hall of Fame, right? Um, shouldn't you be able to, like, help your friends out and help them to, be better? Just slide them some money. You in the Rich Hall of Fame, right? But anyway, his dog was named Dollar. What was the name? Okay, here's the first trivia question to get people participating, because I see people watching, but nobody's saying anything. What was the name of the robotic robot? The robotic robot. The maid that was a robot. What was her name? And then what was the villain's name? Because Richie Rich had an enemy who also was poor. Like, how are you gonna be like Richie Rich is the person you want to suck up to, right? If you're friends and apparently he went to like public school, like, okay, you're gonna send your super wealthy son who has a dog named Dollar, a maid that's a robot. He's got money everywhere, but you send him to regular school. And he throws parties and all these things. Now, keep in mind, I like this cartoon. Don't love it, but I like it. Like I liked it when I was in school. So I'm moving on to the next one, because I'm trying to get as many in here before I start talking about. Oh, I can talk about this one all day. Let's see. Nobody's still commenting. Y'all, come on, comment. Comment. How could I forget about Challenge of the Super Friends? Let me tell you something about this cartoon right here. This is tier 1. This is the tier 1 cartoon. It had Superman. Wait a minute. It had Superman, Batman, Robin, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Apache Chief, the Hawk People, Samurai, the Lightning one, Black Lightning. But they also had these enemies called the Legion of Doom. And I'm telling you what, best thing about Legion of Doom, they lived in a swamp, right? So they would have this bubble thing, palace that looked like a head, and it would just come out of the swamp. And on the evil side, you had like Lex Luthor, Brainiac, Solomon Grundy, that ape. I think the ape was Solomon Grundy. No, Solomon Grundy was the other guy. The ape. Ugh. Let's just listen to the theme song. Maybe I can figure it out. Together from remote galaxies, this was deep cartoon right here. Yep, the thing coming out the swamp. Mr. Freeze. Sinestro. And I named the wrong Super Friends. I'll get them right. Yep, this is fantastic. But Apache Chief was in there. Okay, so Samurai, I wasn't wrong. This is tier one, tier one, all day, every day. That is a tier one cartoon. No doubt about it. You had I forgot the Green Lantern, right? Because he had the other guy in yellow that was his. Because they always had like they had the Super Friends, but then they would have somebody that had like the same power. So Wonder Woman, her nemesis was Cheetah. Superman, well, basically everybody was against Superman. If you think about it, like everybody was against Superman. Um, Never did they have kryptonite though. Couldn't understand that. But hold on a second. Now my hair is messed up. Okay, so um they had what was that one? Bizarro. Bizarro was opposite Superman. Um and Lex Luthor was against, yeah, to come and think about it, they were all pretty much against Superman. They had Giganta, whose arch nemesis was Apache Chief. They had Black something 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 that was the arch nemesis to Aquaman, and Batman and Robin had like the Riddler and the Scarecrow, I think. Just all around tier one cartoon, no doubt about it. Definitely 80s. They started off with Wendy Marvin and the Wonder Dog, but nobody liked them, so they got rid of them. But boy, once they brought in like the Legion of Doom, that's when the cartoon like took off. It just went through the roof. Um, Once they got rid of Legion of Doom, I'm like, okay, no, bring the Legion of Doom back, bring them back, bring them back, bring them back. Um, Another cartoon that I enjoyed. Now this one is unusual because I normally don't like promoting war, and I don't think it's a good thing to promote war. But I really enjoy G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, he's an American hero. G.I. Joe is there, something, something. He'll fight for your right. Da 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 da. G.I. Joe. Da 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 da. One thing I couldn't understand about the show. So Cobra, the villain, had a masked face. How was he breathing though? How was he breathing? He had a still face. Like, did he have some type of apparatus inside that was allowing him to breathe? And how was everybody understanding what he would be saying? And don't ask me to name the characters. That's like a tier two cartoon. Like, it was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good. But it's not great like the Challenge of the Super Friends, right? Because like like when they shot guns, like nobody got hurt. Like they would just shoot weapons and nuclear bombs and nobody got hurt, although they would carry them. Didn't understand it. I know there was G.I. Joe, the guy, and then some other people. But please don't ask me to start naming characters of G.I. Joe. I don't remember them. I just remember enjoying the cartoon and wondering how did Cobra speak behind that steel mask that he had on, and nobody caught wind of it and everybody could understand exactly what he was saying. Loved it. Another one I didn't. Oh, and I watched it. See, this is going to start me going into cartoons I didn't like. And I didn't want it because I said best. So I'm going to tell you now the Smurfs did not make the. I could not stand the Smurfs. I don't like them. Everything was either Smurftaculous or Smurfy Happy or just Smurflific or Smurf. No, the Smurfs will not be discussed. Will not discuss it. It was a terrible cartoon. I did not like it. Also, didn't like the Care Bears. Who goes around caring that much? Nobody cares that much. People are walking around and they see talking bears, and apparently this is normal. No, I can't. Care Bears won't be talked about. Um, What's that show with the little rats? The Littles. That won't be talked about. Probably won't talk about Heathcliff that much because I didn't care for those shows. So the Smurfs, the Care Bears, the Littles, I think that's what it was called, and Heathcliff. Not gonna be discussing them because I couldn't get with them. So I said the ones I like: Challenge of the Super Friends. Oh, wait a minute, I can't. Okay, I'm not even gonna tell y'all what this next one is. I'm just gonna play it. You'll know this one. This is definitely 80s. This is definitely 80s. Yeah, I forget. How did I forget this one? This is another tier 1 cartoon. Oh no, we're gonna do the little short one.
Okay, Limu, you said it. And as I spike it, I'll tell them how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance.
Okay.
So they only pay for what they need. Got it? Did you get that? Only pay for what you need.
Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Oh! On the loose, Thundercats are loose. Hear the action, hear the roar. Thundercats are loose. Thunder, 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 Thundercats. Thunder, 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 Thundercats. Thunder, 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 Thundercats. Thunder, 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 Thundercats. Thundercats. Hey, let me tell you about Thundercats. Tier 1. Period. Point blank. I ain't arguing with you. Go argue with your sibling. Go argue with your parents. Cause I'm not. Thundercats clearly a top 1 a tier 1 cartoon. Period. I loved loved this show. I would still now not that new Netflix stuff they got. No, not counting that mess. I'm talking about that one in the 80s. I'm not talking about the new one. I'm talking about the old one with that theme song that I just tried to sing. Yes, tier 1 all day, every day. There's no doubt about it. This show was so awesome. The action, the the animation. The only one I can name is Lionel. I don't know what that little pet's name was. I don't know what the villain's name was. I don't care. Just tier 1 all the time. Never gonna argue with it. Never gonna sit here and have a deep discussion with somebody about how it was terrible. It was not terrible. Thundercats was completely awesome. Next show. I told you I got a bunch of these go. This show I actually love. I might try to. I'm surprised they haven't tried to reboot this show. They made a movie out of it, but the movie was not good. Oh, wait a minute. Thank you, Tobias, for checking in. Yeah, the old Thundercats. I had a lot of toys. Snarf. That was his name. Thank you, because I couldn't remember. I'm like, I don't care. Still a tier 1. Tier 1 all the time, every time. Okay, so Here we go with another show I absolutely love, but I kind of got some questions about it. This is like maybe a tier 2 for me in terms of how much I loved it. And yeah, I'm probably going to try to sing the same song again. So here we go. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to hopefully be able to skip it. Yep. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Go, Gadget, go. That's not part. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Go, Gadget, go. Go, Gadget, go. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Let me tell you something about Inspector Gadget. I said it's not a tier 1 show. It's not. But boy, that theme song, every time it came on, I was trying to scream it. I mean, loved this show. Loved it. Had a couple of questions about this show, and I gotta stop. Why? How stupid is Inspector Gadget? Like, does he realize he's not actually solving the cases? A little girl was a future book and a watch. And yeah, notice that about that watch, that smart watch she was wearing way back in the day. It's happening now. People have watches and they're talking to their watches and making phone calls on their watches. Okay, this is gonna really just agitate me. That watch she was wearing. Tell me that's not. Tell me that watch she isn't wearing. People don't wear now. She was calling people on it. You get a smart watch now. You can call people on it. She was having like video conferences. I don't know if you could have video conferences, but that's not the point of the show. How stupid was Inspector Gadget? Like nobody, like Penny just worked undercover and like nobody could figure out who, like she was solving these things. And Dr. Claw, in the movie they decided to show his face. Why did they do that? Don't watch either of the Inspector Gadget movies. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Right? Don't do that to yourself. Just watch the cartoon. Because they never showed his face. And he always had like these little stupid minions. Wait a minute. I did not know this. It was a remake of the old live action sitcom Get Smart. Well, shoot, I'm today years old. I am today years old. I did not realize that. Both are parodies of James Bond. Hilarious. Really? I did not realize that was a cartoon version of Get Smart. Although, now that I think about it, that does make... Wow, I didn't think about that. Now I'm gonna be sitting here thinking, Get Smart every time I watch it. And yes, I still watch cartoons. That's right. I still watch them. That's right. But not this new crap. I can't with the new computer anime. I won't. No, we talking about the good cartoons. So I talked about Inspector Gadget. What's another one that I really like? Okay, so this one, they had cartoons in it, but it was like live action too. And I'm trying to think of whether it was called. I'm gonna search this one because this is probably like a tier 3 show, but I just thought it was a cute show. Um, but they have like um yes, okay, I'll let this play. Well, no, we won't. We're gonna talk over this. Nope. Y'all better watch this because YouTube may take it down.
That's so amazing. It looks great.
Yep, we're gonna skip.
Hey, paisanos! It's
Anybody remember this?
Brothers Super Show. With the Mario Brothers, their plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame.
This had to be the 90s though.
We're faster than the others. You'll be hooked on the brothers.
From the brothers. To the bridge. To the bridge. Oh, I remember this. So they would have like that's the Super Mario Super Show. That's what it was called. And they would have like a live portion, and then they would jump into the cartoon. All the time, but I can't. And it was like they would jump into the cartoon and then be like Mario, Luigi, like what they look like in the video games. Oh, it was like it's a tier 3 show, but I still loved. Um, I still loved it. Still loved it. Another one. I said I wasn't going to talk about Heathcliff. Um, Another cartoon that I remember growing up in the 80s. Wait a minute, but what year did that show come on? And you know, you can put some, keep the comments coming, please. Keep the comments coming. I do not know. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so we're going to still try to do this. Okay, so I'm bringing this up. Oh my goodness. What year did this cartoon come on? Oh, 1988. So this works. Okay. This works. I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, did this come on in the 80s? Okay, so they gonna just.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Garfield and Friends. We're ready to party. Yeah. Ready to party. We're ready. Yeah. We're ready to watch some spaghetti. Then again, Garfield and Friends. Come to play, come on, Garfield and Friends. Dun. Garfield and Friends. There's a siesta. There's a Salumba. Ay caramba. Disguises. Surprises. And parts of disguises. Yay. Come on in and it's time to talk to Garfield and Friends. Come to the place and come to party with Garfield and friends. Dun, dun, Garfield and friends. It's time to party with Garfield and friends. Dun, dun. Come on in. It's time to party with Garfield and friends.
Pay attention. There'll be a test at the end.
Okay, so that was Garfield and Friends. I had to make sure it came on the 80s. It was in 1988, so I was a little older, but I was still watching it. It was based off. I know this was based off the comic strip of the same name. Well, no, it was just Garfield on the comic strip, and the friends with the barn would be added. So the first section of the show would be about Garfield and Odie, and then they would do this second section with a pig, an egg that didn't hatch, and all of their friends. So they never interacted. That's not what they did. So yeah, they never interacted with each other. So I'm going to go to the next one because I'm trying to get to as many as I possibly can because there were so. I grew up when cartoons were really cartoons, right? The kids today, they don't know about the cartoons that made our childhood awesome, right? They don't know what it's like to look forward to Saturday morning with a big bowl of cereal and you just sit down and you just watch all the cartoons you want. Now these kids are on TikTok and Twitter and all the social medias, but they will never know how awesome it was to grow up in a time when you could just take a big, humongous bowl of cereal, dump 16 pounds of sugar in it, and just sit and watch cartoons. That was the best. That was so the best things that were happening. So I'm getting to my top ones here. What was the name of that cartoon? Oh, I was right. It was. Okay.
When you're an Amex Gold Card member, there's always.
Okay, why did that do that? What I'm trying to do is turn the sound down.
When you're an Amex Gold Card member.
Okay, so I'm waiting. Because I'm not going to tell you which ones I'm up with. Okay, go away. See, they was right. They was at a fair. And they rode this ride. This is Dungeons and Dragons. And then they got vortex warped into this other dimension. And there goes the unicorn. That was the pet. And there's that Ewok thing. Yeah, and the little Ewok thing gave him powers. Dungeon Master. The Ewok's name was Dungeon Master. Boy, these was the days. Yes, we all kids watching together. Yes, and then nobody watched cartoons by themselves. No child in the 80s sat around and just watched cartoons by themselves. They were always with somebody. And you would just sit around and have yourself a good old time. Good old time. Now, I know I'm about to name a cartoon that didn't come on in the 80s. I want to hear it. I told y'all from the beginning I was gonna slip into the 80s, 90s, and I might go 2000s, but most of them would be from the 80s. Most of them would be from the 80s. So don't be like, well, something in my eyes. Sorry. I'll be like, well, this is not the 80s. Told you I wasn't gonna always concentrate on the 80s, but this is one of the few from the 90s. Although I was a legal adult in the 90s, but yeah, okay, I still watched it. Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle powers, they're the force, those fearsome fighting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, girls in a half shell, and they're green because Ninja Turtles, turtle attacks, turtles are the turtle attack. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Turtles, I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Cool, that's a cute. Angelo is a party dude. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, girls in a half shell, turtle power. Yes. Um, yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was the 90s. When I get to my last one, y'all gonna be like, yes, this was a cartoon. Cause I'm saving it. I'm saving like my all-time favorite. Well, it's one of my favorites. Um, Now this show, it definitely did not come on in the 80s. This cartoon is a tier 1 cartoon. Yes, I had problems with this cartoon. Yes, I think, now wait a minute, what are they talking about? This doesn't make sense. But let me tell you something. It may have been, hold on, just let me just get it first. I'm going to get it. And oh, I'm definitely singing with this one. Tell you now, I'm going to be breaking up something.
Have you, a friend, or a loved one been in a car accident recently? If you knew you could hide
Okay, so we're going to just wait until this. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We got some work for you now. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We need your help from you now. Come on, Scooby Doo, I see you. The guy that gets breaking shivery. You come gonna be so I can see the way you shake and shiver. You know we got a mystery of something Scooby Doo and your hat. No more crack. The Scooby Doo, we're gonna have yourself a Scooby snack. Dun dun dun. That's our fact. Do 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 do. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? Which journey in your woodland? We can count on you, this Scooby Doo. I know you will catch that feeling. Dun dun. Let me tell you something. Scooby Doo, where are you? Tier 1. Tier 1. I'm not going to argue with y'all. No, it wasn't in the 80s, but I watched it in the 80s. I don't care if it was first produced in 1969. I don't care that they basically leave Shaggy um, all by himself. He's like the only one sometimes with a dog that talks. I don't care. Scooby Doo is top tier cartoon, basically. Number one. It's not my number one choice, but dang on it, if it wasn't for the one I'm going to pick or have in mind, yeah, this was it. This was the show. And then to show you how popular the show was, like they had so many iterations. They had the Scooby Doo movies, they had the Scooby Doo mysteries, they had the show with Scooby, Daphne, Shaggy, and Scrappy, which we don't talk about that. They had a Scrappy Doo show. We won't talk about that. But Scooby Doo, where are you? People can complain about the animation. I don't see no problem with it. I see no problems with the animation. It was perfectly done. It looks way better than this anime AI driven mess. Scooby Doo um, tier one cartoon. Period. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not go argue with your mama because today ain't gonna be it. Scooby Doo is a top tier cartoon. It's definitely tier one. No doubt about it. Let me get these comments. They keep coming in. Yes, of course, we basically base our personalities on the turn. See, I didn't go that far because I was a little older. So I didn't, but I knew like kids younger than me did. Does anything top Scooby? My ultimate pick does, in my opinion. Scooby Doo was controversial during the Red Scare for being communist. I heard it's a show about it. Was everything communist back then? In the 80s, there were so many. There was G.I. Joe, which I talked about, Transformers, He-Man, and She-Ra. Lots of them to choose from. So you just got to my next one. The next one is definitely, it teeters on between top one tier and two tier. Because it's hard for me to say this one because, well, it's not hard for me to say. It's hard for me to say because some elements of it just didn't make any sense. But okay, so get ready for new adventures. Here we come. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this one. Definitely talk about this one. Man, da 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 da. Hey man, da 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 da. No words. Do 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 do. Yep. See, were revealed to me. Well, the power sort of said, "I'm the power Gray Skull. I am the power." Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And the cat turned. He-Man, powerful man in the universe. Boom! Did he do that punch at the end? Well, there's no his secret. The sorceress, the man of North Orca, Briscoe, evil forces of Skeletor, who had muscles but no face. He-Man. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about She-Ra though. Not because I didn't like She-Ra. That's definitely a tier 3 show for me. I liked it, but I guess because I saw He-Man first, I'm like, okay, where'd she come from? Like, I guess they had to have something for the girls, but I was rocking with He-Man. I mean, it was just um it was just something I did. So the thing that keeps me from saying that He-Man was a tier 1 show, it was a little corny. Just like a smidge corny. Like, I'm like, ooh, do they have to do that? They don't have to do that. They don't have to be that corny. Do they really have to be that corny? Oh my goodness. Sometimes it was just corny. So I think I'm definitely gonna put it in tier 2. Because I just can't. I didn't do tiers for the other shows. Skeletor was actually hilarious. Why did he have no face? His face was a skeleton, but he had muscles. That didn't make no sense. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely put He-Man. Oh, it's green play again. That's not what I want. I'm definitely putting He-Man in that tier 2. Because I'm like, oh, it could have been one. It could have been one. And I didn't talk about the shirt tails. And I didn't talk about the Muppet Babies. So we go do the Muppet. I'm telling you now before I do it. I think Skeletor stole the show. Now, this show, I literally don't care what you think about me watching it. I loved this show. And I know the words to the song, so again, you'll get to hear my fabulous singing voice. Muppet babies, did a thing for you. Muppet babies will do the same for you. When your world looks kind of weird and you wish that you weren't there, just sign the book and take a look, and you could be anywhere. I like adventures. I like romance. I love great books. Animal dance. I love the theater. I live in the air. I love there's something. And I have green hair. But you all listen to. Are you right? Yes, Nanny. Muppet babies will do the same for you. Muppet babies will never do for you. Muppet, Muppet, Muppet babies, 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 babies. Wait a minute. Nah, we're going to fight now, Nelson. Hey, Nelson, don't forget about the Smurfs. I can't stand. You must have just tuned in. Thank you for coming in. I can't stand the Smurf. I could not. I could not with the everything's Smurftaculous. It's Smurfalific. Have a Smurfing day. Shut the Smurfing up. Oh my gosh, I could not stand the Smurfs. Oh, I couldn't stand the Smurfs. I'm going to do one more and then get to my pick before I unveil the idiot of the week. Okay. This is very short. Pac-Man. That didn't have any words, but Tier 3. It was cheesy, it was campy, but a big, huge part of me enjoyed when the video games turned into cartoons. So I'm putting Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers. They're all tier 3 shows. Technically, they're terrible, but I loved them. Like, right, they're not, they're not going to get points for writing award-winning scripts or anything. But my top pick, this is, and I'm going to sing this one. This one I'm surely going to sing. Yes, love this. This cartoon, let me tell y'all something about this cartoon. Tier 1. Point blank, period. This cartoon right here is a tier 1 show. You can go argue with whoever you want to argue with, but this right here is a tier 1 show. So we're going to
let's go. Come on. I'm cooking all.
Yep, we're gonna just skip it. Drummers, more than meets the eye. Transformers to the evil forces of the Decepticons. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. More than meets the eye. Dun, dun, dun. Transformers, robots in disguise. Transformers. Let me tell you about the show they call the Transformers. Period. Period. This was the cartoon. Long before X-Men had their little drama cartoons, this show right here was it. I almost wanted to buy a Transformer. First of all, Optimus Prime was my favorite character, and my second favorite character was Megatron. So I would always love when they battled. The little Bumblebee car, Volkswagen thing. Well, there's nothing about this show that I didn't love. The movies, they can take them and just leave them. Cause I literally don't care. But Transformers, you're not gonna talk me down on this one. Transformers is like the top cartoon of the 80s. Top, 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 top. The characters, the story arc, the animation. I had a little tear. I'm gonna just admit I had a little tear when they let Optimus Prime die. I was like, nah, I can't. I'm a little old for this, but why I got tears in my eye? Why I got that little tear in my eye? Oh, it was so great. The Transformers, Tier 1, it was better. I know the GoBots came out first, but this show right here was everything. Everything. That's okay if cartoons were based on video games. Maybe we're just a marketing plan made to sell the toys. Yes, that's true. A lot of that did happen, but we didn't even know. We was just like, ooh, a cartoon. Because we couldn't afford the video games. So we could just sit there and watch it. We knew we're not getting a video game. We can't afford it. So, guys. Um, this past Monday, because I'm done with my list now. This past Monday, I hold on a second. Tobia says some of them were, but some of them you got to remember they weren't necessarily geared for girls, right? They weren't. It was like really. I mean, we had Barbies. Like I had Barbies, but none of them like the Transformers. They didn't really have. They had toys, but were they geared towards girls? They were mostly geared towards young boys. Like most of the toys, they weren't out here thinking, "Oh, we got females. We got to take care of our female audience." They was thinking about them boys. They wasn't thinking nothing about me. But some of the toys were awesome. Okay, so this past Monday, I had said I was going to bring back a segment called Idiot of the Week. And I could not, for the life of me, figure out who it should be. So I said, you know what? I'm going to let my audience decide. So here are the nominees for the Idiot of the Week. Mark Robinson for calling himself a black Nazi. Michael Eric Dyson for Turks flirting with Nancy Mace. RFK Jr., his digital affair with a reporter. And JD Vance admitting that he makes up stories for press attention. Now, let me tell you something. The winner won this by a huge, huge. It wasn't even close. The two in the middle didn't get any votes. I'll tell you now. The two in the middle got no votes. So I'm going to reveal who got what. Oh, they did. I'm sorry. Somebody did. Okay, let me take that off. Don't count that Michael Eric Dyson one because I had to click on it to reveal the totals. So Michael Eric Dyson didn't get any votes and RFK didn't get any votes. JD Vance came in second place. Admitting he makes up stories for media attention. I would have thought that would have got more votes because he's literally running for vice president of the United States and he's out here saying he makes up stories. And I guess people are okay with that. But Mark Robinson ran away with this, um, calling himself a black Nazi. Um, that beats it. I mean, nobody. The poll I saw yesterday, he was at 70%. So me. So he was literally, technically speaking, at 70%, and JD Vance was at 30. So the idiot of the week is Mark Robinson, candidate for governor of North Carolina, for calling himself a black Nazi. Um, I didn't vote. You should always vote in the polls. I didn't know that weird Nazi story that sounded bad. Yes, and he literally said it. Absolutely. My sisters played with them a little. See, I never played with the toys because, again, to me, they weren't geared towards me. If they weren't Barbies, I'm like, what am I doing with them? Guys, I have enjoyed this. This is like a walk in my childhood. I really enjoy when I do these. Keep in mind, I will have another idiot of the week poll. Um, next, probably no, it'll be Monday. It'll either be Sunday evening or Monday morning. I'll have a whole new poll up that you can vote in. I already have some nominees, so make sure you're participating. I'm glad to bring that segment back because I really enjoy doing it. Um, I want to thank everybody for watching. Remember to like this video, share this video, and most of all, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. I am 18 away from 300. I know with your help I can do it. Subscribing literally costs nothing. Let's get this done. Let's walk into 2025 with 300 subscribers. I can't get to 1,000 without crossing 300 first. So make sure you subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, hit that thumbs up button. I'm going to do my outro, and we are going to see you all Saturday. I will see you all Saturday at 7 o'clock p.m. for my show. Congratulations to Dr. Cornel West, 47th President of the United States. So we'll play the outro, and we'll see you when we see you.